What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Hope you all having a great Sunday. We are back, as we always do every month. Have IE creators talking about 3D printing, creating, just being creative in a creative space. And I don't mean OnlyFans creative space, folks. I'm glad y'all are here. Couldn't do the show again without the co-host of the show, Mr. Steph Detour Customs. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for jumping in.
And Mr. Damien, Mr. D. Blake makes the greatest sign maker of all time. We're gonna go ahead and cast it. We're gonna go ahead and say that.
That's a big statement.
Hey, look, your signs are hot. Right. It's like you're like a mixture of like Waffle House and McDonald's, but there's no fights at your house to get the signs.
And it's always delicious and healthy.
Exactly.
Healthy,
yeah.
Right.
Treat yourself because it's good for your health.
There you go.
That was pretty good.
I winged it. I totally winged that one. I did not wing it. Totally winged it.
But we'll be remiss without introducing our guest this month, I should say. Shouldn't say this week. This month, Tyler, Hottest Fuzz Customs. Welcome, sir.
Hi, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, pleasure
Love
to have
you,
you.
Welcome aboard, Tyler.
Yes.
It's a pretty sturdy ship. It's a little creaky, but feels good.
Lemonade's
Watertight.
As long as there's no leaks.
Yeah.
Look, we're putting
The pool in the Titanic still has water in it to this day.
That's quality craftsmanship right there.
Good engineering.
Look.
Yeah.
I'm putting that seal, that little that tape seal that they be talking about. That's what I'm doing on this shit.
The Flex Seal over.
Yeah, Flex Seal.
Really
Spraying it on. Oh, that ain't gonna hold for too much longer. As long as we get to the land, we're good. We ain't gonna make it.
The duct tape boat. That's it.
Exactly. Gorilla glue in it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see who's in the chat real quick. We got Stride says hello, everyone. Mark Rose says, what up, guys? And Small Scale, hey, everyone. Well, thank you for all being here. Thank you, Tyler, for hanging with us.
Of course.
So, how's everybody doing this month, this week?
Doing good. Doing good.
Doing great, man.
Can't complain.
It's been a long month, but we're kicking off the summer right. It's gonna be a really nice summer. In terms of not just weather, but tons of great toys coming out, which kind of gets the creative juices going and spurs us into action. So really looking forward to what Damien comes up with, what Dante comes up with, and Ty. I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Tyler,
kids are about to be amazing. Amazing.
These kids, dude. Like when we were looking for guests this month, right? We have our little chat, and Dante's like, "Who you want on this week or this month?" And I was for real. You were like my first choice, and then Steph jumped right in, and he's like, "Hottest Fuzz." I was like, "That's the dude. That's the guy I was gonna reach out to. I was totally gonna reach out to because like your kids,
Appreciate that, man.
Like your molds, man. Just everything that you make is just it's fire. It's really good stuff, dude.
I'll tell you, a 3D scanner
we got
is
a lot
like
of
the
good questions
best
for you.
kit you can make. Getting one of those.
So you do 3D scan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a cheapo version.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nothing real fancy.
Now it was funny when Amy brought you up. I was just like, "It's like who?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like Tyler. This guy Tyler. Like he makes this great Dead Space. I remember I was streaming Dead Space.
You're streaming Dead Space.
You're
streaming the new Dead Space remaster. Yeah, and I said, "Do you know Hottest Fuzz? You know he makes these ridiculous kits for figures and these Isaac Clarke kits." He's like, "No, who's that?" And I sent it to him, and he's like, "This is fire."
Yes.
Yeah, those were real popular. I think I hit the perfect time to drop those too.
Yes.
Right before the remake came out.
Yeah. While the iron's hot.
You got to.
All right.
I do with those Kang chairs. I was like, yo, let me get these Kang chairs. Like, Ant-Man's coming up. Kang's being hot. All right, well, get the chairs out.
Like, what did I just do? I just made something and it was hot. Not Pokemon. I'm looking at my stuff right now.
Pokemon's always hot.
Pokemon's always hot. Yeah.
Never had stuff.
Facts.
But yeah, I just you got hit while the iron's hot, man. Oh, Mandalorian signs. They just went boom, gone.
Star Wars is always going to sell. That's always going to be huge traffic.
Absolutely. Mudhorns, all that stuff just went gone.
Very nice. All right, well, thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for being with us again. So tell us a little bit about yourself for those who do not know you.
Well, I've been doing this kind of professionally, business-wise, for about 3 years now. Customizing fully for 14 or so. I didn't really start posting on Instagram until a couple years ago. Like, I found the whole social media thing kind of daunting. Not really something I wanted to get involved with. But then, like, you make something you're super proud of, and you're like, let me just throw it online and see what people think. And then you get a couple good comments, and then it kind of becomes like an addiction almost. You're like, more, I need more.
It's true.
Yeah, and then you start
following. It's like, what can you do next? Or people start asking, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? And then you're down the rabbit hole, man. Yeah, that's how we all go down that rabbit hole.
So Tyler was among the first people I became friends with in the customizing community years ago. One of the first things he ever created that I came across was this candy corn monster. I had never seen anything like it. I'm like, it's a monster made of candy corn. And since then, he's been like the master of horror for me, for customs and things like that. I was just like, I can't wait to see what this guy comes up with every Halloween, because it's just so unique. It's so out there, but it works. It totally works. I still think about that. I still show my wife that candy corn.
Halloween's definitely like my time of year. Yeah. I always wrap Halloween, like the rest of the year, I feel like I'm hibernating until around like September, October, and then I'm like tearing it out. I'm like, plotting till then.
Action figure.
Do you have like several scopes and stuff that like you kind of work on throughout the year, and you just wait for season to reveal them all?
I've got probably about 20 right now in just a folder that I have labeled October.
Wow. What do you use to sculpt? Are you ZBrush guy? Or are you
ZBrush definitely. Honestly, and for like any beginners, I recommend Sculpt GL or Nomad. Those are free, easy stuff to get into, and you're gonna get like pretty close. Not the same style of refinement that you can get with ZBrush, but it's also significantly cheaper. So ZBrush is steep to get into. Mesh Mixer also is really good for if you need to boolean anything, and like hardline stuff's really good for that.
Nice. So the main question is, what kind of printer are you using?
I'm running Elegoo Mars 3 right now.
Okay.
So I stick with the Elegoo series mainly. I haven't branched out much. I know there's use a different one, right, Steph?
No, I use Elegoo also, but I mean, Anycubic is solid too.
I use an Anycubic. I have a Photon Mono X 4K.
Yeah, I think it's 4K.
Yeah.
How are those?
Good job. The Anycubic, it's fine, honestly. I mean, I have no problems with it. I wanted something that was a mid-sized plate, so it's like a 5x8 plate, so it's a nice size. And so you get a good volume on it.
We'll get you.
They're dropping the Mars 4 now, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's stepping between the Saturn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about it?
Uncle Jesse was talking about that. I'm like, man, Uncle Jesse, stop it. Stop it. I don't need no more printers, Uncle Jesse.
Right. Yeah, Lugo just announced a whole new series, right? Then the 4 Pro and the new.
They're cheap too, line. And they're pretty quality for what you're getting with them. I've seen a lot of people this month alone start getting into buying their own 3D printer to try and.
They're so like inexpensive now. I mean, really, they're affordable. You can just get into it now. I run FDM and SLA, so I've started with an Ender 3 and. Worked my way up from there. I had an Anycubic Chiron that just crapped the bed about a month ago. But I had a buddy, Mick, Steph.
Mick Newcomb?
Yeah, Mick Newcomb. He hooked me up. He had a spare Neptune 3 sitting around. He's like, hey, I have this in the box because he just got that. What was that super fast one? The
bamboo. The bamboo.
That bamboo. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Monster. That's a monster. God.
So he's like, I have this Neptune just sitting in the box. I got the bamboo. He goes, you want the Neptune? So I got it off of him. And I'll tell you, the quality of prints on that Neptune 3 are just
nice,
amazing. Right? Amazing. Fast, too. It is like 60% faster than the Ender 3 and the Anycubic was. Yeah, very fast.
Really? Oh, shit. Okay.
So, the plate's what, like 8-inch, a little over 8-inch, 220 mil square, right? So if I filled the Ender 3 plate with, say, 3 or 4 X-Men signs, that would take 8.5 to 9 hours to print. That same print takes 4.5 hours on the Neptune 3.
You're double timing it now, basically.
I don't understand, man, because I use the same settings, the same speeds, the same same height and everything, and it's taking literally half the time. It's amazing. I love it. Huh. It's saving my ass right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm running in my first Saturn. It's still going strong. It's actually defective. So my my LED array doesn't turn off when it's not printing. So it's on. So I'm like, that's wrong.
The bed?
That's
it's on. It's still masked. It's still masked because of the screen, of course. But the ultraviolet is still pumping through. I'm like, something's wrong here. But
you're gonna cure your PEP. You're just
right.
This is hot. I don't know if this is okay, but I'm gonna run it anyway. It's like so sweet because it keeps my resin warm.
Oh no, you got the pre-built warmer station in there. That's okay.
It was my only saving grace.
There's just a fire brewing underneath it.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna just ride this out.
Why is my resin bubbling up like that? It must be cooking. All right, Bo, I'll go ahead and print it out.
Onions, carrots in there. You're good.
It's still good, but I'm kind of worried that that's not gonna last. That's it's really killing its life cycle. So I'm looking to see what my next Saturn is going to look like. Am I going to go down the cheaper end and jump on a Saturn S or a Saturn II as things kind of decrease in price over the summer?
Saturn, I'm going to tell you, if you want to run bigger, and that's what I did. I went with the Saturn II. That one is nice. And like I said, I'm sticking with Elegoo. I'm sure Anycube is great, but Elegoo's customer service is hands down, bars none, number one. Yes. I can't go
every
wrong.
issue I've ever had, they've fixed.
Yes. When
I had Anycubic customer service is trash.
Oh, see, and that's what I want to hear. See, that's what makes it bad because when I had that, I told you about the LCD issue I was having, where I was printing the Thrones, like it was imprinting into the LCD itself.
Yeah. Yeah, a ghost image.
But it was like fully like baked into like the LCD for some reason. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, cool. I was like, look, let me just see what Elegoo's going to say. And they were like, no problem. Sent me out a whole new LCD screen. Now I was a pain in the butt putting it in there, but it was worth it. It was
that the one you live streamed that time and you had it all ripped open? And so I remember you were replacing a screen another time.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was it.
Okay.
That I felt like I was a car mechanic. I was like, yeah, well, it looks like your brakes are bad here too. And then,
well, I think I said that on one of our first episodes. I said to be a 3D printer, you have to be part like engineer / mechanic.
Yes.
You have to be able to fix these printers because you can't just take this thing into Staples or something and be like, hey, this thing's not working. Can you guys fix it? There's
That'd be really funny if you did that.
Yeah. Right, but there's like no repair shops, even like a Micro Center or something like that. Like that, I mean, if you're good at it, it probably would be great to open up like a repair shop because there's nobody doing that.
It's getting to that point now where I think the amount of people that have a 3D printer, you could open a repair shop now.
You should
bring it in and we can try and fix that thing for you.
Because you have computer repair shops, right? And you have car repair shops. Like I think there's a market for that. If you're good at these things, there's totally a market for you to open up a printer repair shop. And I think you do really well because if you don't, like us, you have to know, where's my problem on an FDM printer? Is it my extruder? Is it the Bowden tubing? Is it the hot end? Is it the nozzle? Is it the bed? There's so many things that go wrong. And in an SLA printer, like, is it my LED? Is it my print times, my exposure times? What's going wrong? Why am I failing my prints? Right? You have to be part mechanic to understand these things, to be able to take apart the FEP film and all 400,000 screws,
We don't do that anymore. We just
I knew that, right?
Look, I ain't lying to you. I just bought this over.
I was about to say. I'll spend the extra $20 and just get a whole new tank. Fuck it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Your FEP film's 15. The tank is 20. Just get the tank. Just do it.
Yeah, because I was just telling Steph before we started. I'm sick and tired of cleaning out this tank, this vat. I'm like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna blow the $60 and just buy it. Like, and it is worth it. Like I have one. I think I have 2 for my Saturn 2. No, yeah, 2 now for Saturn 2 and 2 for the Saturn S. Because I was just like, yo, it's easier, it's less time consuming, and I can clean that vat later on when I'm ready to.
Yeah,
you know, maybe I need to start getting the Saturn 2s because every Saturn I've gotten has had some kind of issue with it. I don't know.
Yes, I remember you telling me you had some real issues with your Saturns.
Yeah, I don't know if I
like
just
what
had
issues. What issues?
every time center plate fail, or something will go out on it, or wobbly Z-axis. It's a myriad of issues. I've went through like 3 of them now. I just can't get a good one. I'm gonna try and get the Saturn 2 though, see if that's a little.
Like I said, the Saturn 2 has been perfect. It's been great. It runs super well. It's super quiet, and I love now that they're putting in the They did it with the Saturn S, but I love that they have like the filters now, the charcoal filters.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Huge.
So now, like the only time I smell it is when I lift up the plastic and and it's like, all right, cool.
I don't know. I kind of like walking in the office and getting a little high off the resin fumes.
There's that resin smell I needed. All right, I keep going with the
car exhaust is delicious.
Exactly.
Gasoline, you're just like, that's a good smell. I shouldn't like that smell, but that's a good smell.
Yeah, you should exactly. You shouldn't like it, but you like it. You know.
Yes. All right, so let me see here. Let me pull this up here for you. We're gonna pull up we're gonna pull up your stuff on Instagram. No. Your great work. I shouldn't say stuff. I should say your great work. I don't know. Things. So if you do want to follow Tyler, please go to Hottest Fuzz Customs on Instagram.
It's pretty cool.
Check them out. Yeah, I say it's pretty cool.
Good stuff.
It's awesome stuff. It's great stuff.
It's awesome stuff. Yeah.
And just in time for some Tears of the Kingdom, you got some Hyrule Link with his shield. Because I've been, Lord have mercy. This
so
is why I don't
when
get
do you
things done.
So you say you 3D scan, like, are you scanning specific figures to then say you want to make a kit? So you want to make an Isaac Clarke kit. What figure do you look at and say, I want to use this as a base? And then are you designing around that? Are you scanning that figure? Like, what's a little bit of the process?
Okay, so basically I look at the overall silhouette of a character. So with the Isaac Clarke kits, I was trying to find something that works. He's kind of got like this almost jumpsuity look to him. You know, he's an engineer, he's a mechanic. He's not wearing anything fancy or skin tight. And then that Hawkeye figure got revealed, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "That's the base." I don't know why. I don't know what. I think it was the torso section. I just saw that.
Was the Diamond Select one, though, right? Not the Marvel.
No,
Legends.
That's the Marvel Legends one.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I tend to try and stick with Hasbro because I like the quality of their plastic and the fact that there's so much versatility with those figures. Usually, you can kind of swap stuff back and forth with them. They're, it's easy. There's a little bit of cohesion. Yeah, I mean, right now, so I'm gonna make some Hell Knights from Doom. So I was looking at.
Oh my God! Are you kidding?
Yeah,
so what is that? What's that base? Oh, is that that's the what's his face?
I know. Beth from
Cull Obsidian, I think is his name.
Cull Obsidian. Yes, thank you. Yes. Okay.
Just again,
so
like overall,
just to make a Doom figure. Yeah.
So I'm going to scan that, and then it makes scaling and fitting things absolutely just a breeze. It takes.
And that's what I was telling stuff. Like that's going to be my question to you. Is like, how do you scale? I didn't realize you actually scan. Like you have the 3D scanner that helps you with your scaling. Because like, if it was me and we didn't have a 3D scanner, right? I just imagine the trial and error printing. Okay, it's just off a little bit. Let me upscale it by 5%. Print it again.
I still do that. That still happens.
Downscale it by 2%, right? But is it less now since you're able to 3D scan and get an idea of?
Cuts out about 2 or 3 scaling attempts. So
yeah,
you should see that. I wish I had it on me. I have a huge box of just like misscaled,
right,
slightly wrong, like, or I looked at it like,
and you just don't want to throw them out, right?
I was like, this looks like shit now.
Yeah,
I'm my own worst critic, so for me, it has to look.
We all are. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I'm the same way. Like people have asked me about my sons, and they'll just say, "Do you ever have them like the paint's just off a little bit, or something's not right, and you just you want to sell them at a discount?" I'm like, I won't sell my stuff at a discount because it's subpar work, like or something went wrong with it. I don't want bad work out there,
Right, exactly.
So,
the same way.
Just won't do it. But
then you end up with a few 100 pounds of misprints, like we all do, and I have no idea what to do with it.
I've just started just tossing them into orders. Like, just if it's like the slightest thing wrong with it, I put in a little bag that says like bonus.
Yeah, it bothers you, but other people aren't going to notice it or mind it, and they'll just be like, "I got a freebie, yeah," you know. Like, let's go. That's cool.
What's so funny about that? I seen one guy on YouTube. I don't know his name, but I seen where he takes like the supports and reuses them to like fix certain parts on some of his.
God, I wish I could.
I've seen that too. He grinds them up, right? And then and like mixes them in with the resin to fill voids and stuff, right? No,
I didn't see him do that. No, he made like this Oni mask, and like he was trying to put it together. So basically, what he did was take that resin and like kind of just like UV light it back into like where the seals are, and then
he left the patterning in there,
right? And then he glued it, and then he sanded it down where it all meshed together.
Oh.
I'll find them again when I see it.
Take the supports and they kind of grind them up and they use them as like filler spots, and then
I've never heard of that. That's cool.
Patching it with the UV resin as well.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he was like, I don't dump my. He's like, I don't get rid of my supports. I was like, I reuse them. I was like, dang. Like that's almost a good idea, but then I have to have a bucket full of supports that I'm not going to probably use every.
I would only do that with one resin. I would only save and reuse one resin. If I could save and reuse the F69 resin,
yes,
that stuff's so expensive.
It's so expensive. Yeah,
that's like that was the most unanimous. Yes, I felt
that.
Yeah,
I felt that.
Right,
because you'll use 15 pounds of support for like a single little tiny piece, and you're like,
right, more support than actual
that's
model.
exactly what it is.
Right.
And then you're just like counting how much you spent on that one single vest or whatever. You're like,
yep.
Right.
Like,
someone needs to do that. They need to figure out a way to melt the resin back down from being
cured. For real. Yeah. Seriously, because FDM, you can get, you see people using grinders and stuff, and then remelting it down and stuff like that. So I have a box that's got to be like 6 pounds right now, just failed FDM prints and, the skirt pieces and supports and all that stuff. And I'm like, do I like, you can send it out and get it reground up, or, you can invest in it. But I've seen people do it now where they just kind of throw it on a blender, right? And then they get like silicone molds from Michaels, like skull molds and stuff, or like a desk caddy mold. And then you can just put all your little scraps in there, throw it in an oven, and they'll just make this cool melty conglomerate of the FDM of the PLA filament.
So it's kind of like injection molding.
It's a lot of work though. It's
right, and that's the thing.
You don't want to do that in your oven in your house either. So
right.
What about the microwave?
The microwave.
The microwave, yeah.
Oh,
I love how we bring that up in every episode.
Microwave work. Look, I'm telling you that.
Wait, Tyler, you got to bring up Tyler. So Tyler, we found somebody online. We were talking about tricks and tips and stuff for resin printing, and somebody said that you can microwave your resin prints to cure them faster.
Don't do
and
that.
Dante tried it.
This code answer turned out fine. You just can't leave. There's a certain.
Yeah, but now your lasagna is going to taste funny forever now. So.
We'll have 2 microwaves, which is
this
is my resin microwave.
Yes.
Right.
But look, it's still holding strong. Stanley's still holding on to it. He still got the power, so he's good. It worked out all right.
Excelsior.
Exactly.
What a pioneer to think about doing that, though. Like, let's just chuck this thing in the microwave and see what happens.
People, that's how everything gets discovered, though, right? I mean,
someone's got to do it first.
Try stupid shit and it happens. Sorry, but yeah,
Why do you think we got cheese? Come on, man.
Melted cheese.
I left my milk out too long. Oh well.
Popcorn was an accident, right? They left the corn too close to the fire, and look at that. Now we got delicious popcorn.
Yeah.
So
put some salt on it. Put some butter on it.
There you go. That's it. You realize corn is only a conduit for butter and salt. For you to consume butter and salt, because the corn gives you no nutritional value. It comes out the same way it went in. So you're just ingesting butter and salt.
Yeah, no processing happens at all for the corn.
Or street corn. You just everything you eat on the corn. It's just a way for you to just not pour that in your mouth. make you feel better about
flavor, please.
That's why I like grits, because they're already like pre-digested, so you just get to enjoy them.
it. Grits, and they still come out whole.
Yeah,
They re-solidify on the way.
Real quick, we got some comments here. Strider says, "I'm cutting grass while watching you guys." ML series, I'm about to cut the grass too. Small Scale says, "I'm stuck at work and would rather cut grass." H says, "I need a new printer." Facebook user says, "Detour." Unboxing Art, what's going on? Says, "What's up, fellas?" Mike Hex says, "Poppy in to show some love." Thanks, Mike. Says, screw the spot enablers. Look, I told you a spot figure was great. I don't know why everybody sleeps on it. I told you the spot was great. Like them hands, some gestures. He gives it to you. Dad bod is all in effect.
Dad bod.
That man gives you all all the gestures in dad bot mode. Like he knows he's
I can't get on board with that spot figure. I can't get on board with him.
All right, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just the lanky arms, the style. I just don't like it.
Oh,
Man.
I love him. I love his little potato sack body.
Look, buy the figure, and if you don't like it, I'll buy it off of you. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
That's a pretty generous.
I mean, I got 2099. I have Punk and I have Gwen from that line, and
Once you start playing with him, you're just like, yo, you know what? He does have like a range of emotions. He's like,
he's got some great accessories.
If I see it in Target, I'll get him. How's that? I'll give him a try.
There you go.
Like my kids, I try to get my kids to eat something new all the time, and they always give me a hard time.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna go with it. I'm gonna give it a try for you, Dante.
Appreciate it. So why are you there?
You convinced Mike Hext. Mike Hext is all about the spot now. He takes it everywhere with him now. So you convinced him. I'll see if I can drink the Kool-Aid too.
Well, since I'm on the convention, so look, buy the big Saturn, the big Saturn print. If you don't like it, you go ahead and give it to me at discounted rate.
At a used price.
I second that.
You know, a car loses its value once it's driven off the lot, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many prints does this printer have? Oh, about 2 or 3. Well, value went down on that bad boy.
There's no FEP in it. It's just like
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I see a little bit of resin here on the side. Yeah.
No fat screws.
I'm gonna give it to you with some pinholes in that FEP though. You gotta believe it.
Best I can do is 250 on this one.
It's a scratch and dent printer.
Scratch and dent.
Mike says something. He says, I don't think Damien likes Spider-Man.
This is my last shelf of my collection in my office right now. That's not in a box.
Oh wow, that's right. Yeah, you are moving. I forgot about that.
I'm sorry.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, bro, I have boxes and boxes. So I was like, this is like my little streaming corner right now, and I'm leaving it until like the last day.
Flashpoint Customs, what's going on? Says great stuff from Hot as Fuzz. Small Scale says, what's up, Flashpoint? Flashpoint says, what's up? Jacob R says, glad you're feeling better, Hot Fuzz Customs.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We got
you can't let the assholes get you down.
That is very true. Very true.
No true words haven't been spoken.
Right.
And Jacob, I think sadly a lot of time it just like stems from jealousy.
It's got to. It's got to, because how can people, I hear things about the community, it's just got to be haters. It's got to be, because if you're putting out good work, what's the hate? Right. You're putting out good work. You're putting out great sculpts. You're putting out something that nobody else in the community, excuse my Bobby Brady, nobody else in the community is pumping out, right? Like you're knocking out these great sculpts, these great kits. Your Gremlins, amazing. I still got to pick up a set of those.
Oh, they're fun. Those things are fun.
But like, they're so good. So like, what could somebody complain about except
what it is? He didn't read
that they can't do it.
That's what it is. I didn't reuse my supports. I should have. I kept telling myself, you got to reuse the supports, man. You got to reuse them. No, I felt real stupid. Like 20 minutes after posting that, I got like 65 messages like all at once, like in support of me. I was like, damn, I'm dumb. I let like 5 people like ruin my day. It just hit me at a bad time. I was already dealing with some other stuff, and I was like, fuck everything. It was one of those.
No, for real. We all go through it. We've all been through it. Dante's.
I think it's important to be able to talk about that stuff, though. That's why I'm glad I was able to kind of share it.
Yeah.
There are times where my messages come up, and I'm just like, I don't want to answer any messages today. Like I just want to shut off. I don't want to be on social media today. I don't want to post. I don't want to do nothing. Maybe I'll scan something. look around, but I don't want to interact with anybody for a while.
Yeah, burnout's real.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah. It happens.
Just need a sandwich and a nap, man, just to recover, refresh,
Mm-hmm.
renew yourself, and clear the slate.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, now that you're back, though, do you feel like you never left? Do you feel like you're back in and you're just like you're ready, like you're refreshed and kind of like ready to go?
Yeah,
right?
I got some stuff I'm gonna post later today, and
right.
I'm raring to go. Like I kept working on behind the scenes and stuff. You know, I can never really fully turn off.
Shut it off.
But you shut off from the posting, you shut off from the interaction a little bit. And then when you come back, you're ready to post. You're ready. Like you're still working in the background. You built yourself up like a little arsenal of content, right? And now you're ready to just kind of space it out, knock it out, and interact again. That's good, man.
That's why yesterday I took about 5 hours just to go back through and message every single person that sent me something. And like I was like, wow, there's a lot of people here. Like it's crazy. It's when I first started doing this, I felt like the community was so small, and now it's huge, and there's so many people with like different tastes and such a giant variety of cool shit out there. Like you really can't let a little bit of negativity spoil that. It's silly to do that.
162 says it's still delicious. I'm not sure what he's referring to.
I think your microwave.
The lasagna.
We're talking about corn. I think he's talking about corn still delicious.
It is still
delicious.
No. That resin corn, that resin corn, still chewy. Chad Killen says, "What's up, everyone? What's going on, Chad?" Flashboard Custom says it's the same thing amongst the head painters, though. No other head painter shares the others' work except for Podong, if I'm saying that correctly.
Podong is great.
I'm not familiar with Podong.
Podong is incredible. He does a lot of like hyper realistic paintwork. Spanning from Mezco, DC characters, you name it, man. He hits it hard. And I'm telling you, these guys, they're doing this thing with their hands. Like they're painting these immaculate pieces. I can't even write my name without going over the line.
Right? They're using like a one hair brush, you know?
Man, it's nuts.
Cat whisker. The secret is a cat whisker.
Cat whisker. Get over here, cat. Paint this figure.
That's their rent, man. If you have a cat in the house, they lose their whiskers. Keep those. Yeah.
Is that right?
Really?
Yeah. I have cats. That's what I'm asking.
If you go watch my cat video, no, they'll give them to you. They'll just lose them naturally. I have a little like container full.
Of, find them though.
Real weird. Weird thing to see.
A
little bit of voodoo there, but it works great for us.
Wow.
Real quick, before we move on, I wanted to talk about this too. And Forge Monitor says, "Glad you're feeling better."
Thanks.
I wanted to share this because I'm bad. I spent, I shouldn't be spending money, but I did spend money.
Spend it.
It's there to spend.
And why is this? Okay, it's showing the wrong screen. I don't understand why it's doing that.
We still do have to show off Tyler's page. We didn't get to that.
Hottest Fuzz Custom, the big cartel.
It's weird because it's like it's showing like the same screen I just had. Like it's showing the same screen, but it's not showing like the correct screen for some reason.
We'll Photoshop it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Right, we're doing live. I don't care. Like, all right, let me see if I can do this. There we go. All right, let's see if we can do it this way. Can we see? Okay, there we go.
There we go. Oh yeah.
Hello, my name is
Brian. Yes. This I ordered.
That looks.
I had to order this.
Sick.
That looks good.
God,
I was like, frick.
Tell you the stuff you guys sculpt these things. I can't even believe it, man. So,
Right.
Who was it? Someone just did the did Todd McFarlane. Did you see that?
I did see
Like
that
yesterday?
on the spawn.
I did do that, yeah.
On the spawn.
That's I want that. It's someone in Thailand because
Old boy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, old boy. Yeah. Old boy. I think it was old boy did the Todd McFarlane. That man, that looks so good on that Spawn figure. I was like, what? And then he did it on the Stan Lee body. I was like, with the smiling face.
I hope he saw. I hope he saw that. The Todd father would get a kick out of that for sure.
Oh yeah.
I hope Todd saw that too, because that's just amazing. It was really good. Yeah. See, it's Flashpoint N16 jumped in there and said it was old boy. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, that was That was great.
Nice.
But the stuff you guys sculpt, man, I would love to learn this stuff, but I'm leagues behind all of you guys.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I tell everybody. You got to start somewhere.
Graduate.
Like I have ZBrush. I just never have not touched it. So I've started playing with Nomad a little bit. But
tell you what,
I think the least intimidating to get into is Sculpt GL.
I'm gonna give you my hotkeys for the next show.
All right.
Detour cheat sheet.
I'm down with it.
You send that over to me too. There's always room to learn.
So he's showing us, Dante. What do you got? You bought that that Black Panther sculpt?
He's all checking his emails.
Yes.
I know. I was checking me.
He's about to go on his OnlyFans right now.
Hey, what's up?
I hate the way I just hate the way Instagram, like when I search for something, like I'm searching for an Instagram name, it brings up like this random like other stuff. Like, no, that's not what I want.
You would think they would bring up the people you follow first.
Exactly.
IG, I was just telling these guys, IG is broken.
It's poorly optimized.
I'm not getting my chats. I'm not getting my notifications.
Same.
I'm getting nothing anymore.
And for us to run a business, that's horrible to like see a message from someone from like 4 or 5 months ago that you just never saw. And you're like, cool, this person probably thinks I'm a jerk.
Yep. And I'm not like that. I'm usually very responsive. Mm-hmm. So
you get like an action figure Stan. He's like, "Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you're silly."
Oh man, this guy's
look at that. Look at that cacodemon. That cacodemon is crazy.
The foam finger.
I
mostly post reels now. Fingers, I miss when I could just post photos and it would be fine.
Yeah, now everything's got to be a reel. Yeah. That foam finger's so good, dude.
Pro tip for the reels: I make them in like 5 minutes. I spend the least amount of time on that because I'm already on like another project by that point. So I'm just like, what can I throw together real quick? Like, what's the stupidest thing I could do?
The foam finger is great because it looks like a foam finger. Like you have the texture. It looks like.
I actually downloaded a texture map for that just to get the foam look. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, that Isaac kit. I'm pretty proud of that, honestly.
Perfect.
I'm so mad. My wife threw out my DX Foam X. I had the original D-Generation X foam, hand thing. She threw that out a long time ago. Look at that. That's amazing.
Where's the foam thing? I might need that. DX might come back.
I know. What are supports on that like?
Nightmare.
Right?
Honestly, I've got mine support like depth 0.03, so they just pull right off. Little warm water on them, good to go.
I've seen people using a heat gun, a little bit of heat on there or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now the grade that you're using, is this the water washable one, or is this just like a regular grade resin?
That's the TH72, so it's a little thick. You definitely need to use alcohol wash for it.
Is that the stuff you guys mix in? That you're mixing, Dante and Steph? That you're always mixing in the 72.
Yep.
You're using it just straight, Tyler?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I can't remember.
Okay.
I got tired of because I used to do like a Tenacious Flex and water washable mix, and I got so tired of doing that ratio every time. Where I was like, let me just find something that works straight out the bat.
I feel like a lot of resin printers, like I don't do a lot of resin printing, so like I kind of just use the basic stuff. Like I'm not into a lot of the different mixtures, but I find like a lot of guys I follow and stuff have their own recipe, if you will, of like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Even like you guys, Steph and Dante, you're talking about like you use this resin and then you mix in the TX72, a little bit of this, a little bit of that to get your personal preference of feel and texture and durability.
I mean, I did the mix for 2 years. By the end of it, I was so tired of spending the time mixing it, and it starts feeling so expensive over time because you're buying two different resins
nonstop,
just constantly. Just I had it on auto ship for a while where I was just like, I need it, I use it, But yeah, TH72 is really good, and I just got the I think it's High Impact from them as well.
Yes.
Okay.
The
nylon I think
no flaking. It's incredible. It's incredible.
So your Doom guy, what are you using for a base of your Doom guy?
That's going to be a G.I. Joe Classified Outback. I went back and forth on 3 or so different. That's the McFarlane one right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And you just made add-ons for the McFarlane one.
Yeah. It's a little further
great,
down,
man.
I think.
Oh, is it down, or am I going right way, or further down or up?
Keep going down. Keep going. Scroll.
I post a lot.
So do you have something that I mean, I know we're all proud of our work, right? But what would you say is probably like your top, your favorite thing you've printed this year so far?
God, those Isaac kits.
The Isaac kits?
Yeah, honestly, it just, everything fell together so perfectly. And like, I was so hyped for the remake, and the remake was awesome. So I was just, that was like, everything lined up perfect on those. They were easy to make. I was even doing like, they're made of like 2 or 3 different resins. So like the shoulder pads I do with Tenacious Flex, the belt I do with Tenacious Flex, the chest I do with F69, and then the rest is TH72. So it was just, that's another thing I don't see a lot of you guys doing, is several different resins for a single kit.
In a kit, yeah.
One.
Yeah, because if you're putting something on a shoulder, you want to have some flex to the shoulder. You want to have some flex to the belt. Like certain things should flex. So no, that's very smart.
Like with the Doom Guy kit right here, the chest is also, I tend to do the chest with F69 just because that's where you're going to want to get the most range out of.
Right.
That's
because you want to be able to like move it. You want to be able to have like have that articulation in there when you do it. It's like, okay.
And in my experience with making kits, it's really easy to get stuff on limbs, but the torso is where everything kind of always gets jumbled up and clumped together and really hard to work with.
We may be talking at the show about that belt because I've been looking for a belt.
Hey,
for a particular character. I'm not going to tell everybody out here.
What kind of paints do you like to use?
Model Master, sadly.
Okay.
Obsolescence.
Yep.
See, that's the one thing I can't do. I can't paint. I can't paint to save my life. See, like, when I'm writing, good. But when I'm painting, this is what happens. Like, it's
right.
Just throw it on there. Just throw it on there. Like, honestly, throw it on there and then go back and fix any mistakes you make.
That Gremlins. Show off those Gremlins, dude. They're just so good. And that John McClane head, dude. I'm just seriously,
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Top. Look at that.
Wow.
They're like to scale. They're perfect. They're perfect.
I was trying to get articulation into the knees.
They're totally articulated. Yes, he's got all his articulation. The jaw opens, the arms bend.
Wow.
Right?
Steph, did I send you one of these, or was it the skeleton I made forever ago?
No. You sent me the skeleton. Yeah, he made a fully articulated skeleton too.
Yes, I saw that too.
Oh wow,
fully articulated. Better than I gotta say, better than the Storm Collectibles version I have.
Is that right?
It's incredible stuff. Now, Ty, I know we spoke about this before, but as far as your 3D journey is concerned, what made you transition from traditional customizing into this 3D realm that we are kind of citizens of now?
Honestly, I got tired of resculpting stuff. If you want a duplicate of something and you made it with green stuff, you're kind of shit out of luck. You have to sit down and do the entire thing all over again. Whereas if I did it on the computer,
repetition, right?
Yeah, and it just felt way more streamlined. And I saw a couple other people doing it, and I was like, hey, I could do that too. It's just one of those things. I'm glad I did though.
You've actually you've had some 3D experience, long before the advent of the 3D printer came along over the past, 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Do you use 3D printing for like your job or anything? Like what got you kind of
weirdly enough, I worked at GameStop before, so I was doing a little bit of game design. Not that, they're both connected, but I was into it at the time.
Sorry, the horror nightmares that come back from GameStop. That's all. When I worked there. It's
okay. Nightmares. So you get it. You get the nightmare. So when you work there, you look for any way to get out of working there. Basically, it's not the greatest company to work for. But yeah, I was doing a little bit of. I was into game design and stuff like that, so I was just enjoying sculpting. And then I was like, you know what? I like action figures a lot, and it kind of progressed from there.
Awesome.
That's why you'll see like a lot of my stuff is video game based.
Mm-hmm. But that's great because like
that makes sense.
It's a niche. It's, you know, when you find a niche, like you're the guy to go to, you know, like
Yeah.
If I'm looking for video game characters, Doom, you know, Isaac or any stuff or Link stuff, like you're going to be the guy I'm going to go to for that because that's like your main thing. There's
Dude, I appreciate that so much, man.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, he's got the claws, the Wolverine claws. Yeah.
Yeah, that batch was a little small. I went back in and made him a bit bigger.
Fully articulated.
Yeah. The joints, everything, man. That's just crazy. Now you sculpted that. You didn't just find like a model of a skeleton, like an STL, and just go from there, right? You just fully did that. That's amazing.
Raw dog, dude. Love it.
That's, I mean, I'm just thinking of it because like I studied anatomy as part of graphic design and human, you know, human anatomy and on form and all that. And, you know, I've had to draw skeletons and I just can't imagine the work to 3D sculpt all of these bones.
Well, about 3 months before, I'd actually taken an anatomy class in college. So I was like, you know what, let me sculpt this. I really liked my professor and he actually brought us tablets and stuff. And I was like, let me do one that I can take apart and send to him. So it just kind of, it bled together really well.
Nice.
Like that torso is you know, you look at it, but from a 3D standpoint, it's one of the more complex things to actually see.
Yeah.
The first skeleton I ever tried to sculpt from scratch, I found myself placing each bone individually like a real body because it's very difficult to kind of capture the proportions and the spacing and just the range of motion. It's very challenging.
It's kind of like sketching.
I hated drawing them. I can't imagine sculpting this, man. Like it blows my mind.
But it's kind of like sketching. Like I do a rough outline and then I go in and refine until I get to exactly what I want. This is my Halloween stuff right here. You can always notice there's a little bit of change in theme.
Right. Is that Nemesis?
It's a tyrant. You're super close.
A tyrant, yeah. It's great.
It's a haunted mask from Goosebumps.
Was that? Did you have multiple iterations of Isaac, like progression, where because I see you have different masks? Like, were there any sculpts that like you started off with and that you revisited because you're like, oh, I can do this so much better now, and I want
all the time,
make a better
constantly.
Version? Yeah.
There's been a few times where it's even stuff I've like already had on my store and been like, oh man, I wish I did that now. You know, like
look at the detail on that freaking Hellraiser box.
That was actually that took a while. There was a lot of bullying that went with that.
Yes.
Luckily, it's only 3 shapes, and they were pretty like 3 designs.
3, and then you just repeat them. But God, did you just start that like really big and just kind of like scale it really small and hope it kind of all worked out? Yeah.
Because actually, I had a plan to do life-size ones too, but it just never came to fruition.
Right. I always wanted to do a life-size one. Like I was going to do it out of wood where it could like, you know, and I have a 3D printer and I can do a 3D printer one.
Yeah. It'll take you 10 minutes.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
We got a comment from the Dominator.
Oh. Yes. And then we got MP Frost says those RE kits are crazy good. I see MP3 Frost. Right. It says and Leon kits for flexible gear but solid weapons and head. And the Dominator 99 says Hot Fuzz is one of the reasons I wanted to get into 3D printing and custom realms after I graduated from college for 3D modeling for game dev while I look for a job in the industry. And then Star Mobile 76 says, "What's up, my dudes?"
Yeah, that's great to hear. You're inspiring careers, dude.
It's crazy to think about. You never know the influence you have over people. I should run for office or something. I'm starting to think about
it. Yeah. It's funny because like it's weird, like because like when I first started this, because it kind of revamped this year for IE creators.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how many people really wanted to like do 3D printing. And I was like, maybe a couple people like 1 or 2, but it was like more than a couple people wanted to do. I was like, oh, okay, like really, like y'all really interested in like doing this? Like, all right, let's do this. I'll tell you what to do. Like, come on in, jump in the pool.
And anybody in the chat has any questions for Tyler or 3D printing, throw them in there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We and I think we've always said like, never be scared of a 3D printer. There's nothing to be scared of.
Honestly,
it's intimidating. It can
the
be
threshold for
intimidating.
getting into it is so low, though. It's honestly, you could have good prints by like day 2 at the very most.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's a learning thing, though. I mean, it's trial and error, just like anything. You see what works, what doesn't, and then you figure it out. You're like, okay, well, my bed's not level, or my resin's too cold, or whatever it could be. And once you figure that out, I was very discouraged when I started SLA printing. Come from FDM, and then learning everything from FDM, I was like, oh, I can just apply all this. No, it's upside down and backwards. Everything that you learn from filament printing is literally upside down and backwards for resin. You have to think of how it's going to come up and how the supports come out, because things can't hang the other way. And I was getting poor prints. I was getting a lot of failed prints. I wasn't getting adhesion on my bed. I was having to always clean. I'd always clean out my vat and scrape out my tank because everything was stuck to the FEP. I was super discouraged, really, really discouraged. I really didn't want to have anything to do with SLA anymore. And then I just started sat down, because resin's expensive too. And so every failure is expensive. And so okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I was just like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to learn this. And I started learning supports. I started figuring out, positioning and how I want to position my prints to get, off the bed, raise it up, get all the supports, more supports. I was always like, with FDM, you don't want a lot of supports because they're a pain in the ass to remove, right? And with SLA, it's just like they pop right off and they leave just a little tiniest little dot. So you can have a million of them and they're totally unnoticeable, really. So once you learn a lot of that and understand it, it kind of revitalizes you and makes you want to get into it more. That's just my personal experience coming from one world into the other.
Yeah. I don't have much experience with filament. That seems so daunting to me. So we kind of came from opposite sides. I really want to get one though, because I want to start doing maybe some vehicle style stuff.
Yeah, that's good. FDM's good for doing the vehicles.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it.
People doing. No, that's a lot. There's Leon.
It's one of them. I've made that head sculpt 3 or 4 times.
He did that extension for the McFarlane Warhammer Reaver. Those arms, that bicep extension, incredible.
Yeah.
The robot arms Fuzz made for my female cyberpunk fig are legendary. Says Star Marvel in 76.
Was that Star? Yeah. Thanks, man. I had a feeling it was him.
Do you do a lot of female cyberpunk?
Yeah, people not a whole lot, so it's pretty easy to narrow down.
Right? That's what I was gonna say. You kind of narrow that down, right?
I know who did. I'm proud of that work. That's what you say. You're like, I'm proud of that.
It was right? when he posted that. I was like, okay, I see the vision now. I see what you're going for.
Yeah.
Definitely. I really do try to stick to stuff that no one else is doing. I feel like that's helps stand out.
You really do. Yep. You find that niche and then you just you hone that and you become the guy for that. Yeah.
Exactly.
You become that guy for that, Absolutely.
Disemboweled joins us. What's going on this? He says alien head looks badass.
That's like a xenomorph? I didn't see that. Or just an alien.
It's a gray. Like a gray alien. The classic alien.
I think it was
I think I saw it when you were scrolling. I saw a brain in a bubble.
Yeah, the
Fallout, man. The Fallout's great. Yeah, there's Predator. Yeah. There it is, the alien head. Yeah, that's great.
Great matter.
Yeah, so you're doing Fallout, you're doing Doom, you're doing Dead Space, you're doing Link. What other lines are you into? Halo.
Halo.
Yep. Huge kits. Love that.
A lot of Resident Evil.
Yep.
I've been kind of debating on making some Call of Duty kits lately.
I was gonna say, do you have something in mind? What's your next line that you're looking at as far as kits or
probably Call of Duty or Titanfall? Titanfall's getting a weird little resurgence right now.
I love Titanfall.
You let me know when you do that Titanfall, because I'm there.
I love Titanfall.
Exactly. I hate Respawn did not go into Titanfall 3.
Right.
Need me some Titanfall.
2. I felt like 2 was better than 1. Oh,
It was
that's
because I think it was more
beautiful.
refined.
Look at that pilot helmet. That's great. That's really nice.
Or my
That's
webcam
really
sucks, but-
nice. No, that's really nice.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Looks
So
really
I
good.
always tend to start like I do the opposite of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do the whole body first and then the helmet at the end there. I always start off with the helmet. I'm like,
says who?
Work your way down, you know.
Is it because the helmet's like the most detailed and like hardest part to do?
Exactly.
I would
So
want
it's
to
like
do
an
that first.
It's an old cosplay thing. You're supposed to start off with like the easy like body stuff because no one pays attention to that. And I'm like, no, I do it the opposite. Get the heart, eat the elephant first, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. One bite
So
at a
Everyone
time.
has their way of doing stuff.
Yeah.
So you touched on it. Do you cosplay?
I don't. I wanted to, but I just never ended up going to
I
conventions
feel
for
like that's
it.
all of us, right? We all want to, but we just like we would
so
love
daunting.
to. We just don't want to
So
make our
daunting.
own damn costumes.
These bodies,
I'll stick
this
with the little
body's
guys.
not made for it.
I don't fit into anything
You can be
anymore.
the spot, Dante.
This body, yeah. I could go as a spot, you know. I just be like sitting there, be like, yeah. So have bread just falling out, and I'm like, yeah. This body was built for the spot. That's about it.
You might not like it, but this is peak performance right here.
Exactly. Peak villain performance. This is peak villain right here. This is me. That's what I'm here for.
Awesome.
MP3 says I need to finish painting that Leon kid. I already finished Wesker. And Zero Reality says if it wasn't for Hot Fuzz Customs, I wouldn't have gotten into figure customizing. Seriously, the most helpful person.
It's true. It's true.
Thank you.
Ask this guy anything, he'll answer.
There you go. Yes.
Most anything. There's a few herbs and spices I don't share.
Yeah.
Right.
KFC, baby.
Can't give away all the secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
The master never reveals all its secrets, right?
I'll help you get some of the way there.
There you go.
No, I think it's great how many people have started 3D printing lately, though. It's really cool seeing people who are fans of you and then they want to start doing it themselves and knowing that you inspired them to kind of get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always a good time. Shrine does have a question. He says, "Is there plans to do a kit for a Jack's Breath of the Wild Princess Zelda?"
Full kit, probably not. Heads, definitely. She got a different haircut in the new game, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone ever just come to you with suggestions and you're just like, "Oh, that's a really good idea. I want to look."
Oh, all the time.
You know,
people bring
dive
up
into
base
that a little
kits,
bit.
like base ideas to me. Like people bring entire like full like, hey, all you have to do is this and put it on there. Do you think of it like, have you thought about that? And I'm like, I did it, but thank you. I'm gonna pocket that one for later. You know,
I get them like, seriously. I get suggestions all the time, like for signs, and I'm just like, yeah, that's great, but like you're the only one that's ever gonna buy that from me, right? So like, are there times where somebody suggests something to you and you're just like, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, right? Because you're like, it's so niche that you're just like, yeah, that's really cool, but nobody else wants that except for you. So like,
that's when you hit them with the, I'll make it, but that's gonna have to be a commission. And then
right, got to commission it. Absolutely, custom commission. Yeah,
and if people want it bad enough, they
will. And that's probably why people start getting into 3D printing and reach out to you, because they're spending so much on their customs that it's just like, I can't. All the money I've spent on my customs, I should just learn how to do this myself.
You would think, and then a lot of people do that, and then they end up not doing it.
Because they don't have the patience for it. They think it's so easy, and then they just don't have the patience to do decent work.
It's a time sink. It's taken me 3+ years to get to where I'm at. You know, I applaud anybody willing to dive in and start doing it, but you have to invest the time, because otherwise,
exactly,
the time has to.
What's that new meme, that new reel going around? If you spend 100 hours a year doing something, that's 18 minutes a day. If you spend 18 minutes per day, that's 100 hours a year just doing something, you'll be better than 90% of the people in the world doing that.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that, but that makes sense. I think it's something like 100,000 hours makes you a master of something.
I thought we were talking about the song, like 100,000 hours and whatever song is. And it's something like that. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm lost.
Are you singing Rent now? What is this? That's
yes.
125,000. That's all.
Do that one day out of the year.
Yeah.
Do that one day out of the year. You're better than everybody.
Singing that one specific song.
Exactly. Like,
hey man, practice makes perfect, right? Well, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes progression, right? Practice makes you better.
Practice makes practice easier to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always growing.
And it's a hard thing to make yourself sit down and do it too, because I can attest to it. I have a hard time. I don't know if I have ADHD or what's going on, because I have a hard time just sitting down and just like
you don't have kids
on that one thing.
You ain't got kids yet. Like that, just talk about time sink.
These are my kids right here. Right? They take away my time.
Children of the atom.
Right. Like these other kids take away from my time, because I'll sit on the desk and I'm like, oh, look at that. I think I can pose that up real quick. I'm like, oh, I just lost focus on what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
I got that too. I start one project and then I've got 15 other ones in the background. And I'm like, maybe I don't do this, and I start doing something else.
Yes.
It's like real life, like Instagram. Like you'll go on Instagram to literally like, I'm gonna go on Instagram. I'm gonna make a reel, or I'm gonna make a post, or I'm gonna respond to people in my chats, right? And then you watch one reel, and then an hour later you're like, what am I doing? I just went down a time warp.
Yes.
I swear to God, they have it to where like the reels just pop up now randomly, and you just start, what's that? Like you can't help yourself. Maybe 10 more, and then before you know it, it's dark outside. You're like,
yeah.
It's literally.
And you're like, I had things to do. I came on here for a purpose. What was my purpose? I don't even remember what I came here for. But we do that in real life now too. Like you'll be designing something, you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get a drink of water. Oh, now I'm gonna get some chips. Oh, I'm gonna watch some TV. Oh, wait, I was supposed to be designing something right now.
yeah,
Exactly. Literally, I did that this morning. I was like, before I was putting motion, I was sitting there, I'm like, I was like, I was scrolling, like, okay, I'm done Instagram. Wait a minute, I was supposed to be doing something. Hold up, wait up, medic. Let me go back. Then I got caught up doing something. I was like, nope. I was like, and then I sit there like,
what was I doing?
Doing on this app?
Yeah, the ADD is real.
It's a process though. You can't rush yourself, and even me, like inspiration, you gotta hit it at the right time. I can't just say, hey, at 3:00 today, I'm gonna open up my laptop, I'm gonna sculpt something new. I'll try.
There are people that do that though. There are people that do that have that board, that vision board, and the
the Pinterest style. This is what I want out of myself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Plan it out, and they plan out their just like real work during the day. Like my job, all day, my life lives in an Outlook calendar. I have to put an Outlook line item for my lunch. I have to put in that, like anything I'm doing that's not in a meeting or a work, I have to put on my Outlook calendar just so that I can block that time off.
Wow.
Like block off time to email people back, block off time for that. Because if I don't, it's like people are going to fill up your calendar, or you're going to find other things to be distracted to. So sometimes you have to schedule those things in real life. 3 o'clock, I'm going to sculpt this head sculpt. 2 o'clock, I'm going to go paint these things. You got to sometimes.
I just wait till everybody goes to sleep. I feel like
I'm a nocturnal animal too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes I'm up. Tyler's up too. It's like 3 a.m. and
you'll send me a message. I reply in 2 seconds. You're like, oh, okay.
Well, you're on the West Coast too, so it's 3 a.m. for us. It's only midnight for him.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Because I'm with you guys. Like I feel like I get more done at night than I can do during the day.
There's less distractions, just overall.
Exactly. I'm like,
quiet.
All right, now I can finally sit down and do things. Everybody else is asleep. Now I can really become alive. All right, then what do I need to do? And that's where it's like, it seems like I become more focused at that time than during the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's like, all right.
Absolutely.
I also don't like to work when I'm hot.
Yeah.
Like being warm saps me. I just I want to take a nap. Like I don't feel like sitting here and making stuff. Yeah. It's like, I live in California, so it's always hot over here. So I have to wait until it's nighttime.
Or you get that really good stretch. And then like you crack your neck, and you're like, "Oh, that's good. I'm ready for a nap right now. Like, I'm relaxed."
Yeah. Straighten up a little bit, and then you're like, "All right, that's enough work for today." Now,
like you didn't hit one key. Like, yep.
You sat down, turn your computer on. All right, that's about it for right now.
Yeah. Star Marvel says I have zero interest in 3D printing. Thank God for y'all.
We got you covered, man. We got you covered.
There's enough of people out there. Keep us going. Keep us in business.
Exactly. It's always.
What's your latest failure that like failed print or thing that you that just pissed you off?
Oh, I'm working on these Resident Evil vests for the first game, and just fail after fail, and then I finally got it right. I went to go put it on the base, and I made it too thick. So like I had it perfectly scaled, perfectly sized, and then it was just too thick to slip over, and I was like, I'm gonna lose it. Like I'm sitting here looking at 6 or 7 vests, all slightly different, and I'm like, and I didn't even think about the inside of the thing. Like it, frustrating.
Yeah,
but it's real. Like I think we need to share our frustrations. We have to share our failures.
We don't want to make it seem too easy.
Peaches and cream. No, exactly. It's not.
Yes.
We can't let people think this is super easy. I'm just going to download an STL offline or something, and just start making things. You can't.
Well, I mean, you can download STL offline, but then you still got to figure out how it's going to scale. Because that's
what I mean. Like, yeah, it's still working.
Funny story. I was on one of the Facebook forums for 3D printing, and someone had just started 3D printing, and they downloaded STL after getting a printer. They were all gung ho about it. They said, "Hey, I tried to print this and didn't print out." First comment: did you add supports?
Supports.
No. I did. So.
Was it magic? It's just gonna go.
Yeah.
I
like the people that say there's liquid inside my print. Why is there liquid in the print? It's squishy. And
did you put a hole in there to drain it?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Oh no, it's good. You can leave it squishy. They're supposed to be like that.
It's not toxic.
It's supposed to have that juice in there like this. Like what was those old snacks that had the juice inside?
Gushers?
Like
Gushers.
Yeah.
Gushers.
It's like, it's a gusher. You just got shaking hands.
Those little soda bottles, those little wax soda bottles. Right?
That's the worst too, especially if it's like a really complicated print, and then later on you find out it had like an open socket. You just happen to miss it for whatever reason. You forgot to solidify it or something like that. And later on, you found that it's cracked open and is now leaking resin everywhere. And you're like, cool, I'm great at what I do.
Yeah,
it happens, man. I just did. Again, I'm not a big SLA printer, but I started making Pokeballs because people want 12 scale Pokeballs. So I was like,
that's good.
Right. So I just started, I tested a couple out. I tested different sizes from 8 mil up to 12 mil to see which fit nice in a 1/12 scale hand. 10 mil is the key, fits perfectly like in a hobgoblin hand. Right. And, but then like I was starting to paint them and I was like, what? They're like little, and all of a sudden it popped in my fingers. It was like a grape. I was like, oh my God, like I didn't make them solid. Like I'm so stupid. And I was like, I couldn't believe that I didn't like make them solid, and they felt solid. I guess I had a nice wall on them, but then all of a sudden, like I'm holding it in my fingers, painting this tiny little thing, and all of a sudden, it was like popped like a zit in my fingers. And I was like, oh God, I'm so mad at myself. But
the worst.
What slicing program do you guys use? Chitubox, Litchi,
Litchi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use Chichibox, but Steph's trying to get me converted over to Litchi.
Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, honestly, the update for Chitubox is horrible. It keeps adding supports on supports onto supports. I'm like, I don't need a skyscraper of supports for this.
See, I look into that because I've had only been using the Anycubic one because with the Photon Mono, it saves it as a specific file type that only can be used on the Photon series. Yeah, really? It's a specific like tag, And I don't know if Litchi accepts can save as that model tag. G code, but it's like it's not. It's like it's specific for the Anycubic printer.
Most of them should be able to.
Now.
Yeah,
I look into that.
Yeah, it should be able to do that because like most of the slicers do have you can pick your printer and it should know the file format is. You can save it as.
Yeah, so there should be.
I think in the beginning, like when I had just first gotten that printer, like none of the slicers had updated yet. Now it's been like a year and a half, so it's probably on the slicers now.
Yeah.
Just like when I got the Neptune 3, I was using Cura 5.1, 5.10 or something, whatever it is. And it didn't have the Neptune 3 on the printer profiles. So I updated the firmware, updated the slicer, and I was like, oh, there it is. It's there now. So just a matter of what version you're using, I think.
Yeah, Litchi's nice. It gives you so much latitude on the shapes of your supports, and it reconfigures in real time. And I remember when I was having my greatest difficulty with Cheeto Box, I'm like, man, screw this. I jumped into the light chain. It's like, wow, I haven't had a failed print since, at least attributed to support. So I highly recommend the main Google software. It's really, really
It's just
good.
taking that leap, I think. Once you build up like a set system you use for something, it's so hard to be like, okay, now I'm starting over with this thing I don't have any experience
That's the thing,
with.
yeah. Like I know the Anycubic slicer so well now. Like I don't want to go into unless I get another printer, another model. Like I don't want to have to relearn stuff. Like where's my settings?
I've got my
this,
prints so refined and ready to go. Like they literally just pull off most of the time. So it's like, God, can I start that over with the new one?
Yeah.
Now I will say this. I would say Steph did give me some good advice about my chains. He's like, add a little bit red in there. So I was like, all right, I'll try it. Sounds a little wild, Steph, over there, but it sounds wild. But I was like, okay.
Where are your chains? Let's show them off.
Oh shoot! Oh, hold on.
Because I saw you posted that Ghost Rider on the couch, and everyone's blowing up about your chains. Where can I get the chains? Where are the chains?
Let's see if I can reach it.
Don't strain yourself. I know, right? There they are. Look at that.
Oh,
that's sick. So nice.
I gotta find a way to make them. Find a way to make them small. I might cut them and just make them like a whole side, but it did come out nice. Thing.
And that prints right on the bed, just like that, right?
Yeah. So it's just
coil
spiraled into each other. Yeah, coiled to itself.
How satisfying is that to pull off?
Right.
It was great because I was like, yo, like the color came out superb, like because it's that translucent
matches
orange.
The head. Yeah.
And it was and then with a little bit like and Steph said add a little bit of red in there, so and the red gave it like a little bit more of a pop to it.
Right.
But if I can just get it to like a little bit more shinier, that'd be great. I think I might have to matte spray it. Like
I was gonna say, give it a little, just hang it from like a paper clip and just give it a.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
But yeah,
I love that, man.
It's turned out
now.
Great.
How long is that? You said you did a spiral. That's all one chain?
Yes. So
this guy's making
jewelry
over here. That's what I'm saying. Dude, that's like 3 feet of chain.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like I have to actually probably cut it down or just cut it in half.
Look at that.
Scorpion's blushing over here about this chain length.
He's gonna wear it around his neck, man. There you go. He's gonna miss the chain now. That's what's up.
Bling.
Best I could do is about $250 for you for this one.
Yeah. 2,050 cents. That is.
Let me see.
That's good though.
Weight in there.
You could dip that in some translucent red too. Just let it slowly dry out.
Okay.
Might give it that nice gloss. And
a
little bit of extra
just translucent red resin, and just kind of dip it in the resin and just kind of let it cure. Would you cure that? Would you just take that outside and let the sun do it, or would you hit it with a UV lamp? Or
I got a UV flashlight, so that'd probably be the route I went with that.
Yeah. And do you think that would lock up the chains? Do you think that'd lock up the links though?
You'd have to be really careful. It definitely
be
could.
swinging it while you're curing it. Yeah. That's why I think. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Maybe outside, if you dipped it and then just kind of let it drip a little bit and then took it outside and just kind of hung it and swung it around.
In theory, that's a little hazmat though, but I think you could do that, yeah.
Dante too, if you get some Tamiya clear red.
Wave Dante.
Yeah. That'd be real nice too. Little red wash.
Yeah, that'd be the route I would go, is using Tamiya or something like that.
But like Tyler was saying, this is the only one that printed perfectly. That's the problem.
It's so frustrating when it works. Also, sometimes when you get it to work and then you do the exact same thing and then it doesn't work.
Yeah,
right.
What happened? What's different? I did everything right. Everything's the same.
I didn't change anything. I left everything the same, and then it's just I think the worst part about it with this is when I take it off, when I'm trying to take it off the supports, that's when it starts breaking, because you have to see it's still that shiny. Still has that shiny quality on it, so you kind of got to snip underneath where the supports are and make sure you don't cut no links.
You're not snipping the chain, yeah,
and that's
hair raising, I'm sure.
But yeah, I love it. It's all ghosties. This is all his.
What do you
really
what do you got over there, Steph, that you're working on that you're happy about lately?
So I'll probably post this a little later, but got this one head sculpt. I don't know if you guys will be able to see the video on my phone, but been dabbling in some. I started making my own alpha brushes for ZBrush because
Nice.
I look at the brushes that they have available for sale. I'm like, I think I just make my own. So I make my own alphas. I make my own brushes, and been kind of coming up with a lot of different style of characters, I want to say. So, because I have this theme in my mind, this lore that I'm kind of starting to create, and
We got Kickstarter coming.
Who knows? Maybe just might, man.
Denizens of Detour.
Might just have to. Let me see if you guys can see it. I don't know.
That's Reese.
Too bright.
Yeah.
I'll post it up later, but
Just trying to get some of the sneak peeks,
Right.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I've been working on a lot of stuff. So, but I'm trying to get the shop open this month too. So, hopefully by Memorial Day weekend, you'll see everything I've been working on uploaded onto the site.
What are you using for a shop?
What was that?
What are you using for a shop? Shopify, Big Cartel? Like, what are you using for a shop?
Shopify, yeah. I opened up my Shopify back in 2020. That's when I first dropped. Oh, 2021, I'm sorry. And then
I started with it, and I kind of got lost in it, and it wasn't linking to like my Instagram, my social media link for whatever reason, and I just lost interest. Honestly,
it's a great platform.
I got frustrated. I got very frustrated.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I know Ty, you use a Big Cartel, right?
Yeah. Sucks.
It's
all right. It does its job. There's a lot of limitations that come with it. Like 5 images per listing. It's kind of rough, especially when you've got a ton of stuff to actually put in one listing. So I started a Facebook page where I just have galleries open now, renders at the very least to show it off. And then I'm gonna start doing like customer creations on there as well. So that way people can go and look at other customizers' works that have been made with my parts. So try and optimize. And then I'm gonna throw like five things up on Etsy and just have those on Etsy perpetually to try and drive a little traffic.
Yeah, a little bit everywhere. Yeah. Spread them out. Absolutely.
It's impossible to run a shop through just DMs and private messages.
It's starting to feel really tight these days,
especially now with Instagram not sending like your chats through and everything, and like
using them every other day.
Is so low now. Yeah. The algorithm is just strangling everybody. I remember, what was it, like December 2 years ago? God, you could post anything and there'd be a couple thousand people that got to see it, and now you post something that's like a banger and you get like 500.
12. Yeah.
Take
a picture of my grass and I'll get like go viral 16,000 views or something. I'm like, it's my grass, my grass. Meanwhile, they're like, look at this awesome thing I just made. It's like 7 likes.
Well, I'll help us out. I'm going to help everybody out with Instagram. So Kane's going to help us in his chair. He's going to help us go back in time and fix the algorithm.
I wish. Take us back to December, please, God.
Actually, Kane, back to early 2000s.
Actually, if you could just take us back to 1990, let's just go back.
90s. I was gonna say, I'm sure King wishes he could return, turn back time and those domestic abuse charges.
Yeah,
that's rough.
Good night, folks.
That's a wrap.
Where's the dinner bell?
Yeah. Call that a major job.
YouTube said we gotta wrap it up. They said we got more shows going on. Y'all gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
Oh, what I wanted to say a couple months ago, I think we're in like a golden age of collecting from all these indie companies, though.
Oh yeah,
we got destroyed by Kickstarter's last few months.
Kickstarter's hurt lately.
You got Spiro, you've got Robo Skull, you've got all these cool ass lines coming out, and it's like golden age. I remember for years it was like the only thing I was kind of interested in was like Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
And then like Mezco hit the scene, and I just never got into them. Like, I don't know, something about the small cloth goods. But recently, Steffi here hooked me up with this guy. And now I'm hooked on them. I'm like, these are so cool, and now I can't get in because they're so freaking expensive.
He does that.
They are. They're pricey. They price you out too. You know, like I'm a collector on a budget. You know, I got two kids. Like my little side hustle is what feeds my collection addiction. And you know, but now it's gotten to the point. Like in the beginning, my wife was like, "Oh, all the money you make from that, that's fine. That's gonna go. You can have that. That's for your collecting." You know, because she didn't think it was gonna make money. And I started making money, and she's like, "Oh, well, you can help out with this, and we can put the money." You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe not all the money.
and now it's like now I have to like ask permission to spend my money.
Wait a second, how do we get
can
here?
I get this month? Come on now, it's right. This month. Come on,
like
baby.
I came home from a show, like my first show, and she's like, "When's your next show?" You know,
She's scheduling it for you.
It's like the Jetsons. You pull out the wallet, she just takes the money. She just takes the wallet.
Yeah.
Like you pull out a little bit. Like
you
here's
with
20.
you with the
take that
$5.
wallet.
That's it. I'm George Jetson for real. Like or Al Bundy. You know, he's just handing up the money.
There you go. So I'm glad you brought up Kickstarter because I did want to talk about this and this month. It's too because we kind of talked about it in our chat, but let me see. Let me just try just right because.
Oh yeah.
Because I thought this was interesting. Like you could actually make money off of these. The modular display cases are 3D printable.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, why is it still doing this? Look, I thought StreamYard had this stuff together, but I guess they don't. Why is it not? And
so it's a 3D
when I joined it, it said like the #1
case.
easiest streaming app to use, and I was like, okay. I couldn't figure out how to get in at first. I was like, what am I doing here?
Right.
When does this Kickstarter close?
It has 3 days left on it.
Okay.
Ooh, what's it called? Omni.
It's a modular display case. Yeah.
Yes. But I'll read off since it's not scrolling pretty quick. That's weird that it's not doing this. Hold on, let me see if I can just do it this way. Like they make it look nice in the presentation, but like there's a lot of work that has to go into that. They make it look easy, and it's not easy. You have to buy your own plexiglass. Like there's a lot more that's going into that than just a modular display case. You have to buy your own shelves.
That seems to be like the logic between a lot of people. They think it's just click button, have thing, and that's not it at all.
No. Like that's, I mean, are they, I looked into the Kickstarter, but what is it? You're just buying the STL files and printing at home and making your own modular pieces, right? And then you're on your own for that. So the Kickstarter is for STL files. And I kind of feel like what you're looking at is a very basic STL. It's a very basic design good for this dude, good for the campaign. And he met it and he's killing it. Good. God bless the dude. But I feel personally as a collector myself, I feel like I would need too much of these. And the price would start to build too much. It would become too expensive in materials to print. And then the lights and then the plexiglass ain't cheap. You know, and then you got to cut the plexiglass. You know what a pain in the ass it is to cut plexiglass without chipping it, without cutting off a side of it, a corner. It's a pain, and I don't feel
they're selling a really good idea, but
yes, totally beautiful idea, beautiful presentation, beautiful look.
So
this is for a niche.
It's three. So right now they made about 350K. As far as pledges go, just for STL files.
Just an STL file, yeah.
That's insane.
That's something. That's crazy.
You know why? Because this is the thing. So you can either do it yourself, or like if you go $269, you can get a commercial license to do it, just to sell it
and print and sell them. For $269, you can just print them.
Goes into this though. You can do this yourself. At this point, when you're already to this level of being able to fabricate these, you could make these STLs yourself. Like it's not like
it's such a basic design. Yeah.
Basic geometry. It's basic geometry.
They
Their
look
corners
great,
are
mind you.
45s. They look great. That's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking the dude at all.
Oh, yeah.
God bless the guy.
But that's
He's not
also,
killing
they
it.
probably have a very keyed-in FDM printer. They
Sure.
probably have someone who's got experience with plexiglass. Like, this is...
Yeah.
And see, like,
It's not
here
as
it is,
easy
it
as
says
they're
set up
making
your
it.
case optional
Not as easy as they're
accessories.
making it look. Yeah.
That's a
I agree.
brilliant marketing strategy to send this to Kickstarter, though. I gotta say, for the creator.
This is for somebody that has like maybe some really valuable pieces that they want to show off, like some hot toys or something like that, sideshow pieces, something that they really want to just keep on their own display with a lighted display. And this isn't for someone like us that has detolfs or shelves all over our room that doesn't have the wall space to show off all of our collections. This is a very niche. This is to show off a very specific part of your collection.
This screams gallery to me, like the very themed kind of display.
I can't imagine see that picture, like having 4 of them blocked off like that. Like that's how you have pictures in your living room.
Yeah, like,
this is for a very minimalist collection that, you know, like this isn't for the heavy duty collector that's, you know.
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
My thing is, I love it. It's a beautiful design. I like the riser look, the staggered risers. But again, somebody with our level that has any kind of basic geometry design, some of these programs like Tinkercad will make that for you.
One shot.
Right.
For real, you just take a hexagon in Tinkercad, raise it up to however one you want. Take another one, put it next to it, raise it up as high as you want, put in another one, and then copy and paste it, and then you've got a staggered step. And I mean, that's Tinkercad, and that's a flex. That's a stretch goal. There.
I mean, a lot of people clearly bought onto the idea. There's 213 backers for the commercial license, so that's
insane. Right. That's insane.
So you're going to see people selling these at shows.
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like you could hire someone for $200 to
and if you're selling that, are you going to sell it by pieces? Are you going to sell it by kit that's done with the plexiglass and sell a full kit?
Yeah.
Are you going to sell just the pieces and say like Legos and say here you can get 4 corners and this, right? They're Legos. It's a Lego set.
Right.
Well, you slap modular on anything, you're gonna attract people wanting to check it out. People love the idea of something being modular, but the people who are getting these aren't going to be able to supply the modular aspect of it because it's not going to be readily, cheaply available.
Right.
Yeah. It's not going to be like Lego where you could buy 15 sets and they all fit together and you can build something.
Assembly required.
You buy
additional
one expensive
parts.
one, and then you can kind of take it apart if you want to. So that's. But then you also have the plexiglass aspect where that's not going to be modular.
How do you cut that?
No. That's what I'm saying.
And that's
you can't make modular plexiglass. That doesn't work like that.
No, you got to get a sheet of it at Lowe's, and then you got to decide how thick you want the piece, right? And then you're sitting there like, what are you going to cut it with? Because you try to cut it, because I've done this. Try to cut it with a jigsaw, and it starts to melt the plastic because of the heat, right?
And then you get the plastic
all the little bits. Yeah, you try to use a bandsaw. Any kind of saw that you're cutting plexiglass with is going to start to chip it, and it's going to melt pieces, and you get little pieces all over the place.
It's a very luxury item I'm looking at.
Yeah, you try to score it with a razor and a level to get a nice straight line, and you just have to keep scoring it and scoring and score it. And then you have to take that snap. You do that, and when you do that snap, you got to be lucky if you get a straight snap and not the corner comes off.
I think the only way you can. Well, the only way you can really get away with this is two things. If you already have a manufacturing company that can pump these out, you're well on your way making your money and more.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, if you're cutting that plexiglass, only thing I could think of without it really having that issue is doing a wet saw.
A wet saw or a laser cutter?
Yeah.
Right.
Because the wet saw,
you'd almost be better just outsourcing the plexiglass entirely at that point.
You would.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People are going to want
somebody that has a laser cutter or something like that. Yeah.
That's the best Uncle Jesse, I guess, is backing it, so that's interesting.
Really?
Yeah. Trevor asks, how much would you have to charge for a fully assembled one to make it worthwhile? Exactly.
And that's the thing, like what size? Because there's different sizes you can print out.
Snapping it is so harrowing. Like I hate snapping plexiglass. I score it, but that snap is like, I'd rather snap glass. Glass is cleaner. Plexiglass.
I look at this Kickstarter and I think about Mike High School Creations Kickstarter, which is way better.
Whoa. Oh yeah.
He's doing these walls for a great price. He could do something like this for even better price, and it would be completely realistic and not, this. I'm kind of taking offense to this Kickstarter right now because it
The
just
more we talk about it, right? Like I said, it's
Yeah.
Legos, man. It's Legos,
it's like, come
and
on.
it's not
so
even
simple,
Uncle
too.
Legos.
Are they doing something like where they're offering backgrounds that are also 3D printed that you can slide in the back, or is it literally
I don't
just
know.
this?
No, you gotta get those on Staples, or there's some other guys out there that offer those.
No, that's.
But see, this is the thing. Like when you look at their like all the unlocks,
Stretch goals.
it's weird because the stretch goals, like it's weird because it's like, is this stuff that I can 3D print and put, you can sell with the kit?
Yeah,
It doesn't
there.
say that.
A pile of skulls, like
right. I
you
can
get
do
a pile
that.
of skulls. What am I gonna do with a pile of skulls? You get a
Right,
crush card.
No, they
okay. Maybe
it's like they're selling you the car, the files to the car, but you have to buy your own windshield and tires. Like
They feel weirdly also impersonal. Like I know they kind of have the same vibe as like a Detolf, but this to me seems like even a step further removed. Or like all this kind of gray, blankish color, and then
you're gonna print it, and you're not just gonna print it. You're gonna have to sand it. You're gonna have to paint it. You're gonna and
because it says right on here it's not recommended for resin. They say straight on here don't use.
No, that's FDM.
Oh, whatever.
So you gotta sand it. You're gonna have to sand it. You're gonna have to paint it, and you got to make sure you assemble it right, because putting all those pieces together and then hanging it on your wall and putting weight on the wall, I'd be scared.
They clearly weren't thinking about Californians when they made this.
I mean, do they
randomly our walls just start shaking and stuff will just decide to just go bye-bye. So
like some things they put at the end, results may vary. Did they put that
at the beginning?
You know, I'm really willing to like just do $58 and just see, like, just for myself.
Or you can just wait, and then the STLs will be on Thingiverse. Within a week after the thing is over, you'll find the STLs.
And then give it 1 year, and Hobby Lobby is going to have something exactly like this. For
exactly.
That is
$20.
true.
Yeah, someone will read.
Yeah, that's the kicker, because somebody else will, like, somebody who has a manufacturing company will be like, yo, I can just sell these in the store and make buku money because I have the means to do it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, good for you. Like I
appreciate the hustle on this, but it just on its face it kind of falls for me. Like
that's what I'm saying. As a printer, this is for the people that aren't printers and have niche collections.
Commercial licenses they sold. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So
over 200.
So this is what it says about the commercial license. It says all commercial licenses are lifetime license. There's no renewal fees. The commercial license are designed such that they pay for themselves with your first 1 or 2 sales. The commercial license are to sell 3D prints of the digital files. Commercial license holders are not permitted to distribute the digital files or use them for mass production, injection molding, or any type of mass production. The commercial license only for selling 3D prints of the digital files.
Then what's commercial about it?
And
so basically,
like have within 1 or 2 sales. So they're estimating one of these shelves at $100+.
Yes,
they're wanting you to become an independent contractor with their models, but not injection mold to reduce the cost. That's okay. I mean,
who has a print farm? Like, I want to know who has a print farm that's into this, that's going to do this. Like, yo, you really have.
Brian Duarte has a print farm.
Yeah.
This printer's printing this up. This printer's printing these pieces out. This printer, like, yo, you would have to have over like a good 50 printers to even make your money back. Like, I can't.
And for the folks that do have multiple printers, they probably have the skill set to make something like this themselves, and they don't need to.
Exactly.
I don't see who this is for. And also, when you're going into it, you're looking at 200 other people now you're going to be competing with making these.
Right.
Yeah.
Minimum.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's not even counting.
Who's going to make it better
out there?
Who's going to make it better? Like, what are you going to make it yours to stand out from other people's?
Rat race now with this. That's
right.
And like, there's also like, if you looked, you can get different facades for the front. You can get like Celtic knots. Like, you can get all the different like designs for the trim in the front of it and stuff like. But what are you going to do different than someone else? Like,
Right.
Again,
I'm just
cool idea, but as
so you can
as a designer,
so you can
and a
kind of
printer-
customize them a little bit, but still,
yeah, there's
I mean,
some.
Sure.
No, it's not there.
it's just weird because it's like,
oh, I see.
yeah,
Okay.
And how many people did not get the commercial license, still gonna make these and sell them at toy shows or wherever else?
You're gonna do
Exactly.
who's gonna stop them? You're gonna get a cease and desist from who?
right.
Also, for
And
one
it-
shelf, I mean, you know, just at that point, what's the you
They're
can't
gonna-
even,
Who's at a toy show saying, "Oh, I saw that online. Do you have a commercial license to sell these?"
no, I made it myself.
Exactly.
Also, the
Right.
integrity of the material, I question how.
FDM, yeah, like you're gonna print in PLA.
I
You're
mean,
gonna print this in PLA. You're gonna
CPU.
assemble it, lock it together, and what's your infill like?
Hope it stays
It's gonna
together.
be super heavy. It's gonna
Right.
be super heavy if you print anything above like 40% infill, and then you're gonna hang this on the wall with some screws through PLA. I just don't. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want my Hot Toys in there. I wouldn't want my statues in that on the wall on
and heaven forbid
plexiglass.
it gets a
When
little
you look at
too
the
hot.
back
And
of
you
it,
start getting some.
It starts to melt. Like, what if your AC breaks? You got a hot, humid day. You're gonna get you're just gonna turn into an oval.
Oh no, my Omni shelf! Like,
Oh no, my army shelf.
Oh no, my
When I'm looking
Omni
at
shelf
this
is
thing put
melted.
together, I don't see any screws.
I like
in
the
back
idea,
of it.
but I
You
think
hang
just-
it at.
the extra little bits in
Yeah.
really sour it.
The idea is beautiful. It's a nice design. It's just not for me. It's not for the collector of our caliber, I think.
they should have just got
Yeah.
them mass produced and charged $200 a pop for them.
For real. It just
would've-
Exactly. Like, yo, if you would have mass produced these and like say, hey, you get like 4 or 5
injection
for, like,
mold,
200,
yeah.
Okay.
What's left for
And
them
then-
to do at this point? I mean, with the Kickstarter, they're done though, right? Yeah.
They made their money. They
Yeah.
made their.
Oh, yeah,
they made
their
days
money.
left. I
They
mean,
made
because they
both
have
the
nothing to
bucks on
do.
this.
You honestly,
I love
honestly,
the
they
idea.
have
I
nothing
love
to
the
do.
modular idea, the customizing idea. I love, hey, I can make it any size I want for my space, right? Some
Right.
people don't have a lot of wall space, so they want a narrow shelf. Some people want a wide shelf. Some people want a big shelf. Like, I love the idea of the customization of it. I really do. But I hate the idea of you making it yourself and having to buy all the extra materials.
Yeah, the
And that's the thing.
the
That's- and
plexiglass
that's the-
alone to me is
Mm-hmm.
But it's great. Like, it's a great idea because it's like, hey, we have a Kickstarter. You're just buying the files from us. That's all
Yeah.
you're doing.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Yeah,
There's
they-
You
no
do all the work.
Whoa.
3
Yeah,
days
you
from
do all
now.
the
They're
work.
going like that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
done.
I'm like,
They're
yo,
doing what's that?
And
Hello
nothing-
Fresh. It's Hello Fresh. We're gonna sell you the groceries. You have to make
do
the
the
food
work.
yourself.
right.
You do the work.
It's basically
You know?
like, yo, the only thing we have to worry about is like, hey, this is not working with this file. Okay, we going. Click, click, click. We're done. Here's a new file. See ya.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Like,
Well, we've
Oh,
tested
no.
our files
Genius.
there. It must be your fault. If you can't print it, it's your fault, not ours.
Yes,
Our-
No,
our-
it
our
actually,
printer
and it
did.
says on here, this is the funny part. It says all files split for printing on standard size FDM printers, Ender 3, Prusa, and etc. That's all. That's it.
That's all they tested it on. That's it.
And there's no update guarantee as printers come out. We'll continue testing these on them to ensure that you get
nothing. Nothing. And
Wait,
Kickstarter
telling
really
you.
let's start with the risk card.
This is going. This is
So there's
going
no
on
risk for
Tinkercad
challenges.
or on Thingiverse. This is going on Thingiverse. If it's not,
Oh,
if
yeah.
someone hasn't already made a knockoff version,
I was gonna
of it,
say there's probably something already on there that's pretty
a
similar.
remix. Yeah, totally.
Well, what's funny is they said risk and challenges. There's no risk. There's no challenges
No challenges.
because we're just
Not
setting
on
up
their end.
file. That's it.
Yeah,
Give
no
me
risk
your
or
money.
challenge on their end. They're
No,
all,
I
you
know.
assume all the risk and challenge yourself.
I don't blame
Exactly.
the creators because if you look at their original goal, it was only $5,000. It wasn't anything ambitious, but for
Yeah,
some
so
odd
they,
reason-
I mean, they knew. They're like, oh, if we can sell $5,000 worth of STL files, but then it went viral. Like, it just, certain people backed it, certain people promoted it, and it just went crazy.
Uncle Jesse.
Yo. Everybody got a good split that they're walking away with.
I got it,
For
guys.
real.
Omni display hat racks. They're fully
you go.
customizable.
Yes.
Hat racks. I like
it's going to be for your Mobile Legends and your Mexico hats.
But we're only selling the file. You have to figure out how to assemble it and everything else that
comes in 2 pieces. No, we're bringing like 5 pieces. The hooks, the pole, the little feet that go on there. Like, yo, how do I put this together? Which one's which? That's you figure out.
We sent you the files. I don't know why you can't figure it out.
The stretch goals, they couldn't think of anything else for stretch goals besides like diorama pieces, like display feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing else.
Because I'm looking at the
Those are all files. That's it.
Do they sell other files too? Are they like a popular STL, like, the minis?
I don't know. I never even heard
They're
of
on
them.
Colts, like they have a Colts channel, and it's just like 1,000 files.
That's what I'm thinking, because it's kind of crazy how much this blew up considering our first.
So it says we sculpt fantasy theme and gameplay pieces, mostly architectural pieces, but also occasionally sets of minis to go with.
Are they like D&D Warhammer guys? Maybe
that makes more sense. That makes more sense.
Background is in mechanical engineering, so I hope to bring some cool engineering accessories to the miniature world. I sculpt and play in a 28mm scale. All my sculpts are done by hand and just now apply textures. I'm passionate for both
28 mil. That's
and resin printing.
2 centimeters. That's less than 3 centimeters. So that's not even Warhammer. That's really small.
Minis.
But look at this. So look at the team. I mean, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 people. 6 people. 6 people. You made $350,000. Everybody's walking away pretty happy. I'm like, yes. It's money off.
I mean, good for them. I appreciate the idea. It's simple enough. It took off.
So, can you think about it? $350,000. There's no material. There's no overhead.
They're done. They're done now.
Physical product that they have to.
Their job is done.
China. They're done. They send you the email. That's it. That's all money going in their pocket. They're going home with that.
50K hopes and dreams bought for way less.
Yeah.
What are we doing wrong, guys?
Not making modular hat racks. I'm telling you right now.
I think the problem is we just haven't come together on one simple idea that we can come together.
We gotta have some kind of a collab here. Yeah, we gotta come up with an idea.
If these guys can figure something out, we can figure something.
That's just STL files with no physical, thing to provide. There's no shipping. There's no making the materials, nothing. Just an email.
I have an idea right now that's actually kind of good, so I'm not going to say it.
Right.
There you go. We'll wait till we're offline.
Go with it. We'll back you. We'll back you, Tyler.
Yeah, exactly.
If you need a team,
I know who to call. My A team.
Right. I do marketing, so
we'll be here. I'll be the photo taker. I can do some photos.
We are 3D Industries. Dante, Detour, and Damien. That's it. Dark Joker, D Blake, and Detour. 3D.
Yeah, it works. It works.
And the hottest Fuzz.
There you go.
You're the main guy. You're the guy.
You started DH.
There we go. Now it's confusing.
There you go. You shorten it down to HDDD. Is that super high definition? Yes, it is.
Super high def, yes. HDD. That's it. Print, Trevor, print your shelf.
Print your hat rack.
Print your shelf.
You want I should have the hat rack so you can put his hat on there.
Print your shelf.
That's perfect.
I should
the hat rack will have all the letters hanging off it too.
I already have treat your shelf. I should have print your shelf.
It's all in the marketing. 100%. I mean, look at that. It's all in the marketing. It was really beautifully put together.
Now I have to give Trevor a cut of it now because it's documented now. It's copyrighted. So
he already gets a cut of his Mythic Legions. Like you don't have to cut up. You give him like 2%. He already gets his cut of Mythic Legions.
Yeah, Trevor's getting some signs at ToyCon, so he'll be all right.
Speaking of, there was a while there I was trying to actually design double joints for the Mythic Legions. I don't think it's possible. The
way they're made, right? You can't.
Because I still wanted to keep that modular aspect. They're too ingrained. I was I sat there for a while just.
But that's why you've got Savage Crucible that's the other one.
Yeah,
true.
They're all dual jointed, but something to be said about the single jointed figures. I mean, they just look so good, though. They look good.
Yes, some do can pass. Unlike Yelena here, who should have double jointed arms.
Yeah,
they already made them. I don't know why she got stuck with those.
Yeah, they have it. Like they've shown you. They have figures before this with double jointed elbows. What was the design decision on her to not include those?
I don't know.
Trademark. Trademark.
Yeah.
It's to squeeze out that last bit of money on that mold before they retire it.
Yep.
There you go.
It always comes down to it. I mean, I get it. It's a business.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had a good time today. Thank you, Tyler, for hanging with us.
Of course.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
As I just seen it yesterday and I can't remember the movie's name, but Never Give Up, Never Surrender.
Never Surrender. Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
Thank
Hell
you.
Yeah. Hell yes.
Never give up. Never surrender.
That's
a great movie.
But yes, that goes for everybody as well too who's here watching us. Thank you for coming out and joining us. Again, Tyler, thank you for hanging with us and
anytime
providing us some great information, mentoring these young folks out here or older folks out here as well, getting them into a new love and something that they can enjoy and have a peace of mind. Thank you.
Where can we find you, Tyler?
Yes.
You find me over on Instagram right now, and I've got a Facebook page. It's going to be the same, Hottest Fuzz Customs. Look for my upcoming Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Gmail.
Yeah, all of it.
Now I'm going to do one of those link-free things, so pretty easy to find me.
TikTok. Cool. I ain't know. That's the one I refuse to go on.
I can't do it, man. I tried. With my time lapses, you would think they'd be a hit, and it's like,
yo,
too much work. Too much work for no return. It's not worth it.
What's the URL in the shop, Ty? What's the URL in the shop? Where can they buy your stuff at, man?
Yeah,
it's going to be Hottest Fuzz Customs at Big Cartel. You can find that link really easy through my Instagram. I'm sure if you guys are watching this, it'll be easy to find. So,
there you go. Oh, and Dominic said for the first time viewer, this was entertaining and insightful. Thanks. You're welcome. Appreciate you. Now, if you can do me a favor, hit that subscribe and like button. Helps us.
That's it. Come to the next one. Come to the next one, Dominator.
That's it.
Yes, definitely.
We do this. You guys will definitely see you guys will definitely see me again.
Oh yeah. Yes,
I'll be popping in to leave stupid comments and stuff.
Yeah, here for it.
Yeah. And we once again, as everybody, if you're new here, we do this once a month. IE Creators is once a month. Just to get everybody, get the creative juices flowing. There's some ideas I knew I need to sit down and pop out myself, but yeah, I felt it was always fun to do, and need to get it back done, and get new creators out there. Have not been really featured, and get them on and feature them, just like Hottest Fuzz Customs here.
My man,
That's it.
Appreciate you.
That's it.
Thank you for coming, man.
Yes, thank you. We will be back. Well, Infinity. Lord have mercy, I forgot what the show is even called anymore. Infinity Equation Podcast. We'll also be back with the regular podcast show on Friday. We'll have Invincible Toys joining us on that time, so we'll talk about that, and then see how that new collaboration came about with Diamond Customs. Diamond Art. Diamond Art. Yes. So yes. Look, Greg. Zelda's taking up too much time now. I haven't done things because of Zelda.
Yeah, you heard.
Yo, I'm telling you, like Tears of the Kingdom has taken up so much. Like it went from
just
Jedi
bridges everywhere now. I keep seeing all these clips. People just building bridges and clipping through walls using the thing to clip through walls. Or whatever. I don't know.
A bridge is the easiest, best thing to build, and I'm just gonna do them for the rest of my life now.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not clipping through anything. I'm just taking my time. I've done little parts of the main quest. I'm just like riding around on my horse, just taking in the scenery. Me and the horse just riding around, just taking out bad guys left and right. That's it right now. We're just having, me and my horse are having fun. Me and my 3 horses, Winston, Teddy, and Yakko. There you go.
It's me and my horsey and a quart of beer.
Yeah.
Riding across the land, kicking up sand.
Link can't drink. He can barely talk as it is. This man can't drink. His hand motion be like, I don't know where Zelda's at. Plain and simple. All right, folks. For Damien, for Steph, for Tyler, for me, we thank you all for hanging with us. Hope you all have a great Sunday. Have a great week ahead. And we'll see you back here on Friday. Have a good one, folks.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
Later, guys.
Later.